The age of exploration occurred from around the 1400s to the 1600s. Ships left busy ports of Spain, Portugal, France, Holland, and England to sail around the world. The explorers aboard these ships sought more than adventure. European kings and queens paid them to find gold, spices, and land. That's when Christopher Columbus discovered America, right? Well, not exactly. Native people had lived in the Americas for many, many years before Columbus landed. But you're right that in 1492, Columbus was one of the first Europeans to claim land in the Americas for the King and Queen of Spain. After that, many other Europeans followed, curious about what this new world had to offer. In the mid-1500s, both the English and the French began to form colonies in the New World, and in 1607, the English established their first permanent colony in Jamestown, Virginia. After that, as they say, the rest is history. Imagine now that you live during the early 1600s. Listen as first the Queen of England and then the King of France each talk to an explorer about traveling to the New World. Both countries are anxious to claim more land in North America. First, the English.
Spain keeps claiming more and more territory across the Atlantic Ocean. We need to get over there and take a large share, for our homeland.
It seems Spain has already claimed most of the territory in Central and South America. No worries, though. We will get as much of the remaining land as we can. Now the French. We too shall sail to this new world and get as much land and riches as we can for France. Yes, Your Majesty. At about the same time that English colonists settled Jamestown, French colonists arrived in New France and settled Quebec. Many of these French and English explorers encountered Native American tribes already living on the land, just as Christopher Columbus had more than 100 years earlier. Listen as two Native Americans encounter European explorers for the first time. Did they say New World? What New World? We have lived here for thousands of years. Who are these people, and what do they want? Native Americans had long traded goods with one another, tribe to tribe. Now they agreed to trade with the Europeans. We will trade knives, glass, copper, and brass in exchange for meat, fish, animal skins, and furs. We will teach you how to hunt with metal weapons if you will teach us to hunt in the wilderness. For many years, Europeans traded goods with Native Americans. Over time, some tribes formed alliances with the English, and others formed alliances with the French. Explorers from many European countries raced to claim areas of North America for themselves. The English established colonies along the east coast of North America, between Spanish settlements to the south and French settlements to the north. In 1733, the British had established 13 colonies in America, the last one being Georgia in 1733. But it was not enough. They pushed westward across the Appalachian Mountains to an area already occupied by the French, the Ohio River Valley.
We need more land so more of our families can build homes. This rich river valley is a true land of opportunity.
Lichte for and trading post here long before the British even crossed the mountains. Everyone knows this land is called New France.
This was not a good combination. The British and the French had been enemies for years on the other side of the ocean. Now they were competing for the same land in North America. Listen as French and British generals justify their claim to the same land.
Ahem, it is a well-known fact that the land belongs to Great Britain. The members of the British Parliament even wrote to tell the French to leave at once.
This was a bad sign. Do you think the French will cooperate with this request?
Why, no.
The British prepared to defend the land, and so did the French. It seemed conflict was unavoidable. And so it was that fighting began between the British and the French, both wanting to control land west of the Appalachian Mountains, the Ohio River Valley. Both sides knew they could not defeat the other without the help of Native Americans who had lived on the land for thousands of years. The French and their Native American allies were already well-established trading partners. The British gave gifts and made promises to their Native American allies. So both sides received help from different Native American tribes when the fighting began. Eventually, Britain officially declared war on France in 1756. But the British and French colonists had already been fighting for 2 years in the wilderness of North America. The French and Indian War was well underway.
Wait, the French and Indian War? Why isn't it called the French and British War?
Excellent question. The war is known as the French and Indian War because the British fought against the French and their Native American or Indian allies. That's right. The French and Indian War was not a war between the French and the Indians. It was between the French and the British, part of their ongoing struggle for control of land in other parts of the world.
So that fighting was going on in other parts of the world at the same time?
Yes, the French and Indian War was just part of more fighting involving many countries, particularly the French and the British, around the world. Fighting continued in the wilderness of North America for a very long time, almost 9 years in all. Yes, and that was only the beginning. Even though Great Britain became the dominant power in North America after the war, life in the British colonies was never the same. That's a lesson for another day.